For the last 2 weeks, we have looked at verse 9. I'm going to read it to give you an idea of where we've been, and now to look at verse 10. The 9th verse in Job, if you have a red Bible, you'll find it on page 403. And it reads, his wife said to him, are you still maintaining your integrity? Curse God and die. Who does that? Curse God. For the last 2 weeks we have studied, are you still maintaining your integrity? Part 2 of this with another subject, but part of the continuation of this passage reads, and she said what she said, and here's what he said. He replied, you're talking like a foolish. Shall we accept good from God and not trouble? Now, over the next week, I'll be talking about the latter part of that verse. Shall we accept what? Good from whom? God, but not trouble. Folk get mad at God. Get mad about who God took. First of all, God doesn't take everybody. Some things we put on God, we need to put on the devil. God works in his permissive will. But he wants to work with us in his divine will. Brother Robert Kelly made mention about the house of prayer, Isaiah 56, verse 7, Isaiah 56, 7. My house shall be called the house of prayer. I'm glad what he said. America talks about prayer, but doesn't pray. The funny thing now, we can't talk about prayer without talking about thoughts. You are in my thoughts. And who cares? I don't need your thoughts. And if you don't know Jesus, I don't need your prayer. Because God does not hear the prayers of sinners until they have first prayed the prayer of salvation. For prayer is for the children of God. Why would God give power which comes from prayer to folk who are not authorized to operate in his program? Are you hearing me? You say, well, I prayed, I was sick, he got well. Well, look, that was just his grace. And he may have put you down so you would pray. Put you down to try to reach you and get you right, but he's still not hearing you because you're not right with him yet. Any man who doesn't know God is an enemy to God. And I heard in the Old Testament that your arms are too short to box with God. And anybody who has not said, I'm sorry to God and turned from their wicked ways is in a fight with God. And James, the brother of Jesus, wrote, anyone, in chapter 4 of James, anyone who's a friend with the word is an enemy with God. Now, who do we really want to be an enemy with? But Paul says in Romans 8, verse 31, he says, now, if the whole world be against you, but God be for you, what does it matter? Would you rather have the whole world applauding you? Would you rather have one God on your side? God by himself is more than all the world. Oh, we cry sometimes about who leaves us and who's not with us and who talks about us. Just make sure God ain't the one doing the talking. God ain't the one who's doing the leading. Talk to you here this morning on this thought before anybody goes to sleep. You sound like a foolish woman. If you don't mind, look at somebody and tell them that. Say, you sound like a foolish woman. Thank you for your cooperation. I asked you to do that because some folk need to hear that. You believe that? Some of y'all seem like y'all enjoy it. So turn to the other side. Tell them, you sound like a foolish woman. Y'all start doing, I think y'all kind of like that. I'm getting some feedback in this microphone. Now let me tell you what I want to talk about concerning this, you sound like a foolish woman. First of all, I want you to know what a fool is. What is a fool? Because some folk are being a fool and don't know it. Second thing that we need to look at is, I want you to see who Job's wife was and is, because some of us embody her. You see, because we were saying, you sound like a foolish woman. Everybody in here is not a woman, but right now it doesn't matter if you are acting like Job's wife, then you acting like her. I want you to see Job's wife. Third of all, I want you to see how she was speaking. How was Job's wife speaking? How was she speaking? And 4 and 5. Take note of this, if you will. Notice who Satan works through. Are you hearing me? You may not want to go to sleep till you hear that. You need to know who he's working through in your life. And finally, if we have time, the question we should ask in times of trouble. Everybody in here, no matter how cute and how young you are, you're going to have some times. Not a time, but some. I heard somebody say this week while I was at the National Congress, you know, I thank God I don't look like what I've been through. Any witness in here? Anybody can testify. You don't look like what you've been through, because you've been through more than what you look like. Ain't that something to shout about? And the reason you don't look like it is because he kept you in spite of your trouble. His amazing grace and mercy held you. Oh, come on and tell somebody, I thank God I don't look like what I've been through. Come on and give it some praise. If you will, look at this contrast between fool or foolishness and the wise, or fool and the wise. You see, wisdom leads to victory and foolishness leads to defeat. Wisdom belongs to those who fear God, and foolishness belongs to those who have no respect for God. Wisdom is about life, and without wisdom, you can't have true life. You can have physical life, but not true life. For in Proverbs, wisdom speaks to us and says, I was there from the beginning. God did not form anything without me. He used me to set the boundaries of the waters, and now the waters have started to come in places in America where you don't expect it. And I tell you, it's all because of sin. The foolish person is a thoughtless, self-centered, and indifferent person towards God. No matter how good God is, the foolish person will come in church and sit there and look like, I don't care what you talk about. I don't care what truth you tell. I don't care what the Holy Ghost does. He ain't gonna move me. I don't care what you tell me I've done. I'm not gonna change. That's a fool. Well, that person might as well be standing in the street and here comes a truck, and you tell him you better move it and say, that truck better not run over me. In my old days, that's a star-nated fool. Look at Job's wife. You know what? As I preach this, me above everybody, I must tell you, and I've been careful about this all week, as I looked again at Job's wife, I got to tell you, she was wrong. But I got to tell you, I can't be too hard on the woman. Here's a woman who tells her husband to curse God and die. Why can't I be too hard on her? I think when I tell you why I can't be too hard on her. You might agree you can't be too hard on her either. Job chastised his wife, and he should have chastised his wife. And you should chastise folk who are in your life who try to lead you the wrong way. Chastisement does not mean you don't love them, you don't want to be friends with them, you don't want to walk with them. But look, when folks trying to get you going down the wrong road, you need to stop them. Because look, not only are you helping yourself, you are helping them out too. Anybody want to lead you wrong, not your friend, they're not being friend to you, they're not helping you. You need to have some sense. Look at this woman. I can't be too hard on Job's wife. It is written in one place, now it's not in the Bible, but it is written that actually she was a daughter of Jacob. And that Job and Jacob were friends, and he married Jacob's daughter named Dinah. Whatever the truth be about that, don't take that too heavy, because you're going to find that in the book of Job. I want you to see why we can't be too hard on this woman. Can you be too hard on a woman who loses 10 children in one day? That's enough to run anybody out of their mind. I can't be too hard on the woman, though she was wrong, you see, because she lost all of the family's wealth in one day. Some folks sitting here thinking they got plenty of time. You don't know what you have. You sin today, you may be blind tomorrow. You talking today, you've been out there to talk tomorrow. You can eat whatever you want today, but you may have a stroke tomorrow. You don't know what tomorrow holds. I don't know about tomorrow. But I do know who holds my hand. Many things about tomorrow I don't understand. But you need to get your business right with God today. She lost her family's wealth. She lost her status. Her husband had been, according to the Bible, in chapter 1, verse 3, he had been the main man in the land. Nobody was above Job. He was a big shot. He was a man that everybody looked up to. But the next day, he went from being the main man in town to the next day being the man at the city door. Everybody they had, everything they had was all gone in one day. So one of the women didn't lose her mind. And you know, when things start to happen to you, you got to blame somebody. And it's always so easy to blame two folk. First of all, it's always so easy to blame the girl who's behind the counter at McDonald's than to blame the one who's the chief or the CEO of McDonald's that you can't see. It's always easy to blame God when you can't blame nobody else. And so she blames him. Somebody need to make note of this. You want to be careful of the folk who you look to for resources. Oh, you don't understand what I'm saying? But stay with me right here. Job's wife is a good example. You see, Job depended on his wife. You understand that, don't you? I mean, if you don't have nobody else, and if you're married, the person you want to be dependent on, when you can't depend on anybody else, is your wife, is your husband. When the children are gone, it's just you all. You got some women here right now, you put your children above your husband, but they're going to be gone after that. They got quiet on me. And some mamas here who put your sons above your husband, but all you're doing is fattening them up for another girl. You better fatten up the one you got. And after a while, ain't nobody gonna want you but him. I don't know why y'all waking up now, either because you feel guilty or you finally catch it up today. You fattening up the wrong hog. Yeah, you fattening up the wrong hog. Yeah. Some of you women don't know who you belong to. You need to write this down. You were born from one man. And you were made for another man. That's why you don't have your last name now. And I know a woman got two men's last name and she ain't married neither one of them. She confused. And all this hyphenated stuff ain't of God. And you marry somebody, you ain't hyphenating your last name. You through with that now. You must remember your purpose. You were made for that man. Go out here there. Put a flag. Let me throw the flag. careful who you get your comfort from. Job was trying to get his comfort from his wife. But watch this about, here's what you want to be wise about. You see, you want to be careful about who you get your comfort from, because when folk are full of sorrow, they are usually unable to enrich you with the support you need. Are you here? Let me tell you what Job's wife offered to Job. She offered him not what he needed, but wanted him to join her rather in her bitterness towards God. If you wonder where I'm coming from there, she was bitter and she said to him, you still here? You ain't tired yet. 2 days ago, everything we had is gone. The next day, all your health is gone. I look at you now, you look bad from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. You're sore everywhere. And the Bible even says that his breath was smelling. And she couldn't stand his breath. I believe that's in Job 19. And she says, you ought to just curse God. And Job was seeking his comfort in the wrong place. But I'm so glad he said what he said. He said to her, you don't sound like my wife. You know, ever since that movie came out, Sleep with the Enemy, sometimes we don't know who our wife is. You got anybody in your life, you thought you knew them until trouble come. You didn't know who they were. You speak like a foolish woman, Job says. You speak like a foolish woman. Listen up in here. Listen to me. I'm about to tell you the essence of this message. So I said the title is, You Sound Like a Foolish Woman. I can't let y'all go to sleep now. I stayed up late to tell you. You ain't gonna sleep on me now. Wake up in here. Negroes love to go to sleep in church. You ain't sleeping nowhere else. You don't sleep with the music going on. You don't sleep at Kentucky Fried Chicken. You ain't sleeping there. Wake up in here. The devil will put you to sleep on God's program. Johnny, we all tell you. Let me tell you. You said to each other, you sound like a foolish woman. Didn't you say that? Didn't you say that? We already talked to me. I said, didn't you say that about ago? Yeah, so let me go and say, we gonna. Let me tell you what you were saying. Job was saying to his wife, you sound like an infidel. Well, see, now we live in a day, folk don't know what they mean. I came recently to know of a story of a man, who confessed that God called him to preach. Did a sermon, so-called sermon, got a certificate from the pastor of the church, then left his family. Left his children to fend for themselves. Make it the best you can. I don't know where you're going to get your food from, but it ain't going to be me. Matter of fact, I'm not going to even answer the phone when you call. Are you going to hear me? And whenever this man's person came up, you all, let me tell you, here's what I'm telling you. I would not respect him myself. I would not respect him. I respect the man because he's a human being. But I would not respect him as a preacher. So you don't judge. Oh, yes, you do. I said, he's not a preacher. He can't be a preacher and walk away and don't feed his children. For the Bible says, any man who doesn't feed his children is worse than what? An infidel. So how can you preach for God and don't believe in God? If you're going to be a preacher, that means you believe in God, but his living says he does not believe in God. So I said he's not a preacher. What infidel means, a person who who does not believe in God. Job said, you sound like an infidel. You don't sound like a woman that I know who's supposed to believe in God. He spoke to this woman. He says, in other words, when he said, you sound like a foolish woman, you sound like one who has no knowledge of God. You sound like one who doesn't have good religion. You sound like one who's a deliberate sinner. You sound like one who is simple-minded. You sound like one who's malicious-minded. You sound like one who has said in your heart. Proverbs 14:1 says this, a fool has said in his heart. Psalms 14:1 says, a fool has said in his heart, there is no God. A fool. Matthew, the Old Testament talks about the fool, and the New Testament talks about the fool. In Matthew, in the book of Matthew 23:17, it compares a fool to being blind. Isn't it funny how life is and how good God is? That the older you get, the better you can see. Some of y'all don't really do that. You know, that preacher lost his money. You already knew that, didn't you? But you say, what's wrong with it? Here I am wearing bifocal. Somebody here may be wearing trifocal. And you telling me I can see better now? Oh, yes, you can. When you were young, you had your eyes and you didn't even wear glasses. Now you got old and you wear glasses, and I declare you can see better now than you did when you were young. Because when you're young, you can't hear and you can't see. Because you're too big a fool to be able to see anything. Folks try to tell you what's right, you don't want to hear it. Folks try to show you what's right, you don't want to see it. Youngest will make a fool out of you. That's why you don't see old folk when they britches down fast. It's bad to be old and have your britches down, because ain't nothing like an old fool. You don't see too many old men with earrings in their ears. Earrings belong to women, they don't belong to men. Remind me of this story I heard one time about a little kid in the house, and went in and said, Daddy, these pantyhose yours or their mama? Is this earring yours or is it mama's? Bible says God made them male and female. But the world has said now we all the same. Ain't no truth in that. See folk with a ring on now, you don't know if they're married to a man or to a woman. Lord have mercy. Let me tell you who the devil will put in your life to work through them to get to you. Whoever you are, the devil is trying to get to you, and he'll use other folk to do it. If he can't bring you down through yourself, he'll send folk in your life to bring you down. I know all about that. I know good about it. You got to be careful about the decisions you make, because you'll bring folk in your life that will cause you to make decisions that don't seem to be harmful, but will be harmful for your life and for your future. I know about that. And the right family's here right now. Sister Rich often will talk to me. She reminds me like she never did. She said, Reverend, the devil is like a rat. How many y'all Kelly folk know that story? Put your hand up if you don't tell me. Rob, you don't know that story good. I know some of you don't. Sister Rich said, the rat is able to flatten his head. You don't folk need to hear that. He can't find a way in the house. He'll flatten his head and find a crack, flatten his head and make his way into your house. And I want to tell you, you got some rats in your life. You don't know what I'm talking about. I understand, because look, some of us in here got some rats in our houses and don't know it until late at night. Sometimes you don't know it until you set the rat trap and put some cheese on it. You got some company in your house uninvited. You got look, and you found you had some rats in your life, but you didn't know it until they ate your cheese and gone. That was a rat. That person want to fool with a snake. He'll bit you one time. Why you want to bite you twice? My grandma says, snake bite you one time. Let him bite you twice. You was a snake the first time. Devil will send them in your life. Listen, let me tell you how he works. Job's wife says, curse God and die. Here's what happens. Satan works through people who are dear to you. Let me see if he works through folk who what? Dear to you. In other words, folk who make you weak. Folk who can influence you. Folk who have a way of getting close to you. The devil puts folk in high places, and he puts folk in places that are close to you to mess you up. Boy, he know how to do it too. They look good, smell good, walk good, shake good, talk good. Well, they can say it better than anybody can say it. They can wink better than anybody you know. I ain't getting a lot of talk. Here, let me show you the power of how Satan works. He put Eve close to Adam. Look at where you are today. He put Sarah close to Abraham. Adam listened to Eve. Abraham listened to Sarah, but thank God, Job didn't listen to his wife. Praise the Lord. Well, finally, congratulations and graduation. You still awake. Church folk can't take much these days. Bible days, they went to church every day. Now, church folks say one day a week is too much. Ooh, I can't take it. There's a question we need to leave here asking ourselves. What is the question we should ask in times of trouble? Let me tell you the wrong question to ask. The wrong question in times of severe testing, trial, trouble, when the heat is on, when you don't know what to do, you got sleepless nights, the days seem too long to bear. The wrong question to ask is, how can I get out of this? How can I get this trouble away from me? That's the wrong question to ask. The right question to ask is, what can I get out of this? Not how can I get out, but what can I get out? You need to know what you ought to shout already. If you belong to the Lord. Anybody here belong to him? Listen. You see, folk will say all kind of things about you. But if anybody knows whether you belong to the Lord, it ought to be you. You don't need nobody to speak for your salvation. You ought to be to speak for yourself. That's what the man's mom and daddy said who was blind, and they said, the church leader said, is this your son? They said, it is our son. Tell us how he got his sight. How he got his sight, we don't know. Ask him. He's of age. He can speak for himself. Your mom and daddy brought you in this world, but they don't know all about how you got born again. But you ought to let them know somehow everything is all right. Got my business fixed with the Lord. If you walk with the Lord, yes, there's going to be somebody who talk about you. So you call yourself a Christian. But I see you do this and I see you do that, but I'm glad you're here today. Don't let them bother you, because all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. Even Christians got some hang-ups. Even Christians do the same stuff that sinners do. But I pray the Lord, sinners on their own, we on Jesus. When you mess up like sinners mess up, Jesus' blood will cover you. Ain't the Lord all right? Bless his holy name. I come to tell you, the Lord knows what he's doing. You don't hear me. It may be quite heavy for you right now, but the Lord knows what he's doing. You may not have been able to sleep well last night, but the Lord knows what he's doing. Your money may have gotten funny and gotten low, but the Lord knows what he's doing. Friends may have forsaken you. Folk you thought were on your side have left you. But the Lord knows what he's doing. You may not be able to feel your joy, but that's all right. And still you haven't lost your salvation. Blessed be the name of the Lord. I'm so glad that Jesus keeps my salvation. But it's up to me how far the devil steals my joy. Y'all don't hear me. But I heard David say, clean me up, give me a clean heart, and restore the joy within me. Ain't God all right? He's able to lift your heavy load. He's able to make everything all right. He's able to turn your midnights into day. One of our favorite verses say, his anger may endure but for a night, but his love is everlasting. And I heard somebody say, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. Is there anybody in here ever had any midnights? Is there anybody in here found out he'll keep you through the midnight? And then he'll let you know, go on and fly away in the morning hours. Ain't God all right? I said, ain't God all right? He may not come when you want it, but old folks say he's always on time. Somebody here wants to know when he is on time. On time is not your time. On time is not in perfect time. But he's always on perfect time. He never moves until the time is perfect. But in the meantime, you can depend on his word. Turn to 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 13. He makes a promise to you there. He said, I won't put no more upon you than you're able to bear. And if it gets too heavy for you, I got a backup plan. I got an ace in the hole. I'll make a way for you to escape. One way or another, God will take care of you. God will make a way for you. God will be loving to you. God will see you through. God will take you through to get you to. And he'll take the sinner to get it through. Y'all don't hear me? Ain't the Lord all right? Weeping may endure for a night, but joy, joy, joy. I said joy, joy. Y'all don't hear me? It's one thing to be happy, but it's another thing to have joy. This world will steal your happiness, but I'm glad that we can show up to church and tell one another, I've had some rough days, I've had some hills to climb, but this joy I have, the world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. Y'all don't hear me? The Holy Ghost that I have, the world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. Y'all don't hear me? My blessing I have, the world didn't give it, and the world can't take it away. Ain't he all right? Ain't he all right? I need some witnesses in there. I said, ain't he all right? Say yeah, say yeah, say yeah, say yeah, say yeah. Ain't he been good to you? Say yeah. I love the churches. Thank the Lord for the Lord. Thank the Lord for Jesus. Thank the Lord for the Holy Ghost. Thank the Lord for his church. Thank the Lord that he's able to make you recover. Come on and put your hand together. This joy